Heard that? Heard that? Control over his assets. Bro, this woman had a reality show. Makeup lines. Fucking Skims. Jesus Christ. What more does she need? She just wants to gobble it all up. She's like a fucking black hole. All right, man, welcome back to another video. Hope your day is going good. And in today's video, the end of Kim Kardashian. So, you know, in the words of Reggie, it's a grown ass man. I don't got time to be watching no Kim Kardashian now. But this video was sent in to us by one of our viewers. It was a request. And, you know, I ended up stumbling onto his channel, seeing that he's doing that great work. So if you're interested in his video, you like this video, please tap in, watch it. And go ahead and comment and like on this video, man, while you're at it.
Yeah, bro, I have no clue as to what's going on with Kim Kardashian. But I know it's a curse around her. Every dude she get with goes down.
Definitely jumped into another relationship so fast.
After turning 40 this year, I realized, like, no, I don't want a husband that lives in a completely different state.
And a grown ass man shit's becoming part of my vocabulary.
For those that don't know, I was a self-made entrepreneur who founded my own startups, one of which Kim Kardashian stole. I tried to sue her for fraud.
After 6 years of being married, the relationship between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West officially fractured in February 2021 when divorce papers were filed. This marked the start of a public split that would span over the next 15 months, characterized by Kanye's public plea to reunite his family while Kim seemingly embarked on a campaign of public provocation. For instance, Kim announced she would be hosting an episode of Saturday Night Live in October 2021. Kanye showed support right away by gifting her a lavish $23,000 fur coat to mark the occasion. However, the broadcast, Kim engaged in a skit that led to a kiss with SNL cast member Pete Davidson. This moment ignited rumors of new romance, which the pair confirmed 4 months later on Valentine's Day.
It's not that
very
bad,
pointed dinner date. They didn't just choose any restaurant, they went to Juan and Vinny's, an establishment known for a Kanye-themed menu item called the Ham and Yeezy Pizza. Photos of Kim and Pete enjoying the pizza were splashed across social media, and their followers quickly pointed out that Kim was wearing the exact $23,000 fur coat Kanye had given her. The message was clear and calculated. A date with an SNL cast member at a restaurant selling a pizza named after your ex-husband, while wearing a gift from the same ex-husband. However, Pete famously had the names of Kanye's children tatted on his neck and allegedly sent the photos of himself in bed with Kim.
That's wild.
This prompted a distress response.
This
from
is
Kanye
weird, bro.
Stating, "I'm really concerned that Skeet will get my kid's mom hooked on drugs. He's in rehab every 2 months." In retaliation, Kanye released a music video for his song Yeezy, which featured a claymation figure of himself bearing a character resembling Pete Davidson. Pete's response was to be photographed driving a golf cart in Kim's gated community with Kanye's children on his lap. This led to a widespread fan speculation that Kim orchestrated the paparazzi photos specifically to torment Kanye's mental state. Some theories went even further, suggesting an entire 9-month relationship with Pete was a manufactured plot to make Kanye have a mental breakdown, potentially so the Kardashian family could place him under a conservatorship. While this seems far-fetched, Kanye had previously shared screenshots in 2016 of his personal trainer threatening such an action. Furthermore, the Kardashian family has established connections to Lou Taylor, the controversial business manager at the center of Britney Spears' conservatorship. Lou Taylor, who is a CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, allegedly played a key role in convincing Britney's father to establish the conservatorship in 2008. The same year she became Britney's business manager. It's even alleged that Lou loaned Britney's father...
Now, listen, gang, this is one of the reasons my mama always warned me about dating Caucasians. It's not that they're bad. It's just that when shit gets sour, boy, the tactics and ploys they got for you, shit, you ain't never gonna see it coming, boy. Surgical knife on your ass. Bitch.
$40,000 just before he went to court. Britney herself has directly implicated Lou in the loss of her freedom, writing in her 2023 memoir that Lou was front and center during the process. Lou Taylor's name has surfaced in other conservatory
Look what happened to
discussions as
Kanye,
well,
man.
with Courtney Love claiming Lou attempted to
Shit.
place her in one, and
All
reporting
he
that
wanted
Lou
was
advised
Kim.
Lindsay Lohan.
He sung about this woman for years, y'all boys. Years. And then she plotted to get this nigga locked up into a mental facility. Now, is Kanye perfect? No. But she knew that getting in it with him. Because she didn't do it for the money.
Fact.
So then, why do all this to him after? Make it public. You're dating a freakazoid, weirdo. You got the man sit. No man wants to see his kids in another man's lap.
Yeah.
No man. So if she even cared about him in any facet or, form, she wouldn't even allow that. That means that she doesn't even have respect for her own offspring.
Yeah.
You see how fucked up this is?
Yeah.
His mother to seek one over Lindsay. The connection becomes more disturbing
Damn.
when you consider the financial ties the Kardashian and Jenner team has reportedly borrowed millions and millions from Lou Taylor to finance their various business ventures and property
Now
acquisitions.
say what you want
This
about our
includes
sisters.
Kylie loaning
They ain't doing shit like
$36.5
this.
million to buy a magnificent
Ain't never heard
6-bedroom
it.
property in Holmby Hills in
You know what
April
I'm saying?
2020. Then Kris Jenner took out loans totaling $2.4 million in October 2015 and $2.11 million in March 2018.
They're holding
Then
it
she
to laugh
significantly
and
upped her
shit.
borrowing. In August
You
2018,
know he wouldn't
she
agree
first
with
obtained
me.
a $7.25 million loan.
I agree.
Nevertheless, it was replaced the following
I
month
agree.
by a new deal for a massive $40 million loan made through the firm Crosswind Venture Fund, which is 10 times more than she had spent on the home. Later in January 2019, she loaned $5.2 million and another $5.25 million in June of the same year, as per property document. This increased Kris' loans amount to $62.21 million, which was backed by the house and other assets. This financial entanglement led to intense criticism when Kim publicly supported Britney Spears' memoir, a book detailing the horrors of a conservatorship allegedly orchestrated by the very woman funding the Kardashian empire. Fans accused Kim of cross-hypocrisy, speculating that the money loaned to her family was derived from funds taken from Britney. This web of connections fueled the theory that the relationship with Pete Davidson was a cold, calculated effort to destabilize Kanye and gain control over his assets. After Kanye's Yeezy music video, Pete claimed to be in a trauma therapy.
Heard that? Control over his assets. Bro, this woman had the reality show. Makeup lines. Fucking Skims. Jesus Christ. What more does she need? She just wants to gobble it all up. She's like a fucking black hole.
Due to the harassment, and shortly after, he and Kim announced their amicable split. Looking back, Kim's entire relationship with Pete seems to have revolved around Kanye. From the themed pizza, to the tattoos, to the taunts. Kim later reflected on an episode of The Kardashians that she regretted the relationship, admitting she jumped into it too quickly. In 2022, though
Yeah,
Kim
because it
Kardashian
made you
was
look
accused
bad.
of eco-terrorism over multiple private jet flights in one day. Eco-terrorism, for the people that don't know what it is, eco-terrorism refers to the use of violence or illegal acts committed in support of ecological or environmental causes, often aimed at causing harm to individuals or property that are perceived as threats to the environment. This term is associated with the radical environmental groups that advocate for the protection of nature through extreme measures, raising significant concerns regarding its implications for national security and law enforcement. So Kim Kardashian acquired a Gulfstream G650ER jet for an estimated $95 million. Not content with a standard luxury aircraft, she then spent a fortune on custom modifications, reportedly bringing the total value to a staggering $150 million. The jet, which she named Kim Air, features a full cashmere interior and a second bathroom, and has become a symbol of both her immense wealth and her blatant disregard for environmental concerns. According to the carbon emissions tracker on myclimate.org,
She said, y'all dealing with global warming? Y'all lower class peasants? Who the fuck if this shit get hot? I'm in the sky.
2023 alone,
Can't fly
Kim Air was
forever.
responsible for emitting 5,857,600 kilograms, or nearly
She finna
13 million
stay in that
pounds of
motherfucker.
CO2 into the atmosphere over 165 flights.
bathrooms.
This made her the third worst celebrity polluter in the United States from 2023 to
Travis
2024.
Scott, no.
Bro, everybody knows Travis Scott don't give a You see the situation that happened at his concert.
Yo, I know this video's about Kim, but shit, Tribe, calm down, bruh.
Surpassed only by Pitbull and Travis Scott and ranking higher
Bro,
than
what is Pitbull doing on the top? When's the last time you heard a Pitbull song? Name 5 Pitbull songs right now.
figures like Oprah, Jay-Z, and her sister, Kylie Jenner. To put
What
that
the
into perspective,
fuck?
and simple terms,
That's
the
wild,
average global
bro.
citizen emits around 4 to 7 tons of CO2
What year
annually.
was
Kim's
this? I gotta see what year this was. Bro, because I'm telling you, name 5 Pitbull songs right now.
I don't think they showed all that. Yeah, it's just the list.
Oh, are you lucky, Pitbull?
I
Because
think this was 2022 though.
2022, he said? 2023.
2023.
All right, hold on, chat. I'm going to look up Pitbull's hit songs in 2023. Because we got to see why he was number one. in
Pitbull, they had a hit song.
I'm trying to figure out why he was number one.
Probably just collecting the residuals from this from the shit that he already put out.
Damn, bruh. This is how we know it didn't hit. Look, last one went platinum. 60,000 units. Liberated. When was this released? 2019. So Pitbull ain't have no fucking reason to be killing our earth like that, Pitbull. I just want to show y'all that. You see, this is what I'm talking about, bro. Money make people just don't give a fuck. Crazy.
million pounds of CO2 into the atmosphere over 165 flights. This made her the 3rd worst celebrity polluter in the United States from 2023 to 2024, surpassed only by Pitbull and Travis Scott and ranking higher than figures like Oprah, Jay-Z, and her
I know
sister,
that nigga was
Kylie
doing,
Jenner.
and don't
To put
y'all
that into
say he was
perspective,
doing tours
simple
and
terms,
concerts.
the average global citizen
Bro, I
emits
haven't
around
heard
4
from
to 7
Pitbull
tons of
almost-
CO2 annually. Kim's
What
jet
this nigga
alone
said,
produced the equivalent of
2019.
1,625 years of a normal person's carbon footprint in just 12 months. What makes this even more shocking is the nature of these flights. Flight trackers revealed that some of the 165 trips taken in 2023 were as short as 10 minutes, with multiple flights occurring in a single day. On one occasion, she flew from Nevada to California, back to Nevada, back to California, then to Arizona, before finally returning to California, all within a single day, totaling 3 hours and 48 minutes of flight time. This behavior stands in stark contrast to her public persona as an advocate for environmental causes. Her shapewear brand, Skims, for example, claims it only works with suppliers who share a commitment to sustainability.
By the way, I found out about Skims from females, and then that track Playboy Cardi, it just made sense. Like all the girls that was wearing it, and then when Playboy Cardi was that track about Skims, I was like, oh, that's Kim shit? Damn. She's killing it, bruh. Real talk.
Accountability, and transparency. Skims even pledged to donate 10% of proceeds from its Ultimate Nipple Bra for 1% for the Planet, a global environmental organization. Kim promoted this product with a statement saying, "The sea levels are rising, the ice sheets are shrinking, and I'm not a scientist, but I do believe everyone can use their skill set to do their part. That's why I'm introducing a brand new bra with a built-in nipple, so no matter how hot it is, you'll always look cold." Fans immediately called out the hypocrisy of this campaign. Given that her private jet's annual pollution dwarfs the lifetime emissions of most people, despite the backlash, in the first 3 months of 2024, Kim used her jet 15 times for flights under 40 minutes, 8 of which were shorter than 15 minutes. She continues to put out an image of environmental consciousness on social media, showing off a refrigerator stocked only with water in glass bottles and cardboard boxes to avoid plastic, and proudly displaying her Christmas gifts wrapped in reusable Skims fabric instead of paper. Her messaging is a chaotic mess of contradictions. She promotes sustainable products while taking multiple short, unnecessary flights in a day for leisure. She boasts about fabric gift wrap before covering her 7,000 square foot home and 3-acre property in artificial snow for Christmas. Speaking of her property, during the severe 2022 California drought, Kim was identified as one of the state's largest water wasters. At a time when California was almost entirely dependent on water imported from 400 miles away, and residents were urged to take shorter showers and not water their lawns, Kim Kardashian used an astounding 232,000 gallons of water in a single month to maintain her lush green landscape. To once again help put it into perspective, the average American household uses about 107,000 gallons of water in an entire year. During a crisis, Kim used more than double that amount in just 1 month. Some people think that Kim Air is more than just a convenience. It's a massive tax loophole. A social media narrative explained in this way.
Here's the truth about why rich people buy private jets. A lot of people will say that the experience is better or that it's going to save them all this time. Some people will just be doing it as a flex. But the reality is it's one of the biggest tax write-offs you can get. If you bought a $10 million jet for your business, you could potentially write off the entire purchase price that year. So if you made $10 million in net income that year, you could write off the whole thing by purchasing that jet. And that would mean you don't have to pay any taxes because you bought it. And this is just a strategy that ultra wealthy people do. But there are a lot of things that you could be doing today, no matter where you're at, that can help you.
Kim earns a reported $80 million a year. But because she is a deduction queen, she brings down her taxable income by writing off purchases as qualified business expenses, which is what she did with her jet. Because of this tax code, she just had to prove that she used the plane over 50% of the time for business for it to be a write-off, which she does. I mean, they filmed the Kardashians on the plane, and I'm sure she holds meetings in the air for Skims. And this tax code says that you can write off vehicles that weigh more than 6,000 pounds, which a plane is a vehicle. Where is the lie? And if you're wondering how big of a write-off Kim got for her plane, 100%. That's because she bought it in 2021 and was able to take advantage of bonus.
In 2019, Kim Kardashian announced on the cover of Vogue magazine her intention to become a lawyer through a 4-year legal apprenticeship. She made it clear she was not attending law school, but was reading the law, a path available in California that doesn't require an undergraduate degree, which is convenient, as Kim does not have one. A key requirement of this path is passing the first-year law student's examination, commonly known as the baby bar. Despite having a team of private tutors and studying for years, it took her 4 attempts to finally pass the test in 2022. This is an exam every first-year law student must pass to simply continue their studies. Even though a full law degree typically takes 4 years of study, Kim seemed to feel that the 3 years it took her to pass a preliminary test were sufficient to begin positioning herself as a legal expert. Since she wasn't actually a lawyer, she chose the next best thing for her, a true crime podcast. Kim Kardashian's The System, The Case of Kevin Keith, premiered in 2022, questioning the conviction of a death row inmate. In the first episode, Kim speaks directly to Kevin, saying, "I'm really hopeful for this podcast, just to get your story out there, because I think it's so important for people to understand that our system is so up." The case she chose was that of Kevin Keith, who was convicted for a 1994 triple homicide in Bucyrus, Ohio. Marichelle Chapman, her 4-year-old daughter Markay, and her aunt Linda Chapman were killed, while 3 others were wounded. One of the survivors, Richard Warren, identified the mass shooter as Kevin Keith, Marichelle's ex-boyfriend. The motive, according to the prosecutors, was retaliation. Kevin had recently been arrested in a major drug bust after Marichelle's brother acted as a police informant. Kevin's alibi claimed that he was 30 miles away with his 2 girlfriends, but his neighbors testified they saw him leaving in his girlfriend's car around the time of the shooting. A forensic analyst matched a license plate imprint from a snowbank at the crime scene to that same car. Another survivor, 6-year-old Juanita Reeves, also positively identified Kevin Keith as the man who shot her. Despite an eyewitness survivor blowing up his alibi, forensic evidence placing him at the scene, a clear motive, and 3 separate eyewitnesses pointing to him, Kim Kardashian's podcast alleges that he is an innocent victim of racism because the jury was all white. The podcast quickly shot to the #1 spot on Spotify, surpassing major shows like the Joe Rogan Experience. This sudden success led some to question the surprising rise, with rumors circulating that she had paid for bots to inflate her ratings. The surviving victims of the shooting, Juanita and Quentin Reeves, publicly condemned Kim for never attempting to contact them for their side of the story. They accused her for twisting their testimony to fit her narrative, telling the Daily Mail she doesn't want to hear from us. She wants to get him out to make her look better. Although Kim never did a second season for her podcast, Kim has continued her online legal activism, championing other convicts like Rodney Reed. In 1996, 90-year-old Stacy Stites was found murdered in Texas. She had been brutally assaulted, the R word, strangled with her own belt, and her body was set on fire. While police were investigating, Linda Shutter reported a nearly identical attack. She had given a man a ride and he began to assault her, threatening to kill her. Linda managed to escape and reported the incident to the police. Her description of the attacker led them to detain Rodney Reed, who Linda then identified from a photo lineup. At the time, Reed was already a suspect in Stacy's murder and was being investigated for 5 other assaults, including one R-word on a 12-year-old girl. Investigators were able to retrieve Reed's DNA from Linda's vehicle. When they compared it to the DNA from 3 separate sperm sites found in Stacy Stites' body and saliva on her chest, they found a match. Rodney Reed was charged with Stacy's murder. In court, he initially claimed he didn't know Stacy, but when confronted with the DNA evidence, his story changed to them having a secret affair. Despite multiple DNA matches, a surviving victim who identified him, and a history of similar R-word crimes, Kim Kardashian declared Rodney Reed innocent. Her argument, once again, was that his conviction was a result of racism because the jury was all white. The case received massive media coverage, including an interview with Rodney on Dr. Phil. A petition to free him garnered over 3 million signatures, and in 2019, a Texas court indefinitely delayed his execution to review the case. Kim's venture into criminal justice activism is understandable because her father, Robert Kardashian, who passed away in 2003, was a famous lawyer. It's logical she'd want to be known for more than just her celebrity status. Kim's choice of cases, though ones with crazy evidence and multiple eyewitnesses, is baffling, especially when her primary argument consistently boils down to jury composition. Kim actually practicing law will require her to pass a moral character determination, a process where a state bar reviews an applicant's history for qualities like honesty, fairness, and obedience to the law. Basically, you must be a trustworthy person. And unfortunately, Kim has a long and alleged history of scamming people, dating back to at least 2006. 19 years ago, Kim was accused of stealing over $120,000 from the mother of R&B singer Brandy by using her credit card for unauthorized purchases at the Kardashian family's own boutiques, Dash and Smooch. At the time, Kim was working as Brandy's stylist. According to the lawsuit filed by Brandy's mother, Sonia Norwood, she gave Kim her credit card for a single purchase in 2004. However, Kim allegedly recorded the credit card number and used it to rack up nearly $63,000 in charges at Dash in 2006 and almost $60,000 at Smooch in 2007. When Sonia demanded repayment, the Kardashians refused, leading to a lawsuit seeking $825,000 in damages. Kim's lawyer denied any wrongdoing, but in 2009, Sonia requested the lawsuit be dismissed, suggesting an out-of-court settlement was reached. This isn't the only time Kim was accused of financial misconduct. Kris Jenner's church, the California Community Church.
Did you hear about Kris Jenner's church?
Your tiny Jesus.
Before you go rush to join, let's talk about it. This so-called church is actually a tax strategy, exempt from federal, state, and local taxes. Not to mention, because it's a religious institution, its financial records are locked from viewing. She co-founded California Community Church in 2009 at a Starbucks. Kim says that she donates 10% of her $80 million income. That's $8 million. Not to mention, so does the rest of the family, donating over $50 million. Now that $50 million is untaxed income, all donated in the name of religion.
Has been accused of being little more than a tax shelter for her family and friends. Founded in 2009, it's led by Pastor Brad Johnson, who was reportedly working at Starbucks after being ousted from his previous congregation for cheating on his wife. Kris and Bruce Jenner allegedly tracked him down and convinced him to lead her new church. The church encourages a 10% tithe, which is tax deductible. Some allege that the money donated by Kim and her family is then washed and returned to them. Since churches in the US are not required to report their finances to the IRS, there will be no public record of these transactions. Kim has stated she donates 10% of her income. Meanwhile, Pastor Brad Johnson moved onto an $850,000 house to a very nice area in Thousand Oaks in 2012, just 3 years after Kris Jenner supposedly found him at Starbucks. Most of Kim's legitimate income comes from her brand Skims, which is manufactured in Turkey by a company called Eurotech, and yeah, I'm not saying the rest of that. But while Skims has been praised for the brand's exclusive sizing and material, it has also been criticized for manufacturing in a country where the minimum wage is just over $2 an hour. A lot of big companies like to do this. For example, Nike and Adidas do their manufacturing in Asia, where China's minimum wage is $3.70. Fans have also labeled Kim as a hypocrite for operating a large factory in a country that, for decades, refused to recognize the American genocide, a cause Kim was a vocal advocate for until President Joe Biden officially recognized it in 2021. More recently, Kim found herself in another legal battle after a software developer, David Libenson, accused her of stealing his app, Kimoji, and leaving him financially ruined. David claims he pitched the idea to Kim and Kris Jenner in 2013 and 2014, working on a verbal agreement. When Kim's legal team called to ask if he registered the trademark for Kimoji, he said no. They offered to handle it for him. To speed up the process, the trademark was approved, but David's name was nowhere on it. Kimoji launched in 2015 and allegedly made $1 million in its first minute. In 2019, David sued Kim for $100 million. Kim and her lawyers countersued for $300 million, a sum so intimidating that David withdrew his original lawsuit. But even after he stopped receiving money for his work, Kim and Kris pursued him, demanding he pay $400,000 in legal fees. This ordeal led to David's wife divorcing him and leaving him homeless, living in his car while working 2 jobs to pay off the debt he owes to the Kardashians. This pattern of taking advantage of others is so ingrained into the family that Kim even bragged on the Today Show about her daughter's lemonade stand scam, where if a random person stops, she will charge them only $2. If she knows you, she will fully scam you. I'll get calls from friends saying she charged them $20 for a lemonade. She'll grab their $20 and say, I don't have any change. Kim's relatable pattern of tearing others down to elevate herself can be tracked back to at least 2007 with an infamous MySpace feud with Haley Duff. The conflict originated from a dispute between Paris Hilton and Haley over a song. As Paris' friend and sidekick at the time, Kim was expected to take Paris' side. Haley reached out to Kim to make peace on MySpace, writing, Hey Kimberly, so I'm really tired of all this bad blood between us. The only reason we've known each other is because of Paris. And of course, she tries to stir things up because she doesn't like me and wants you to be on her side. I'm not writing this message to slam her though. Anyway, I just wanted to say sorry for whatever I said about you. I know there's been lots of miscommunications and stuff, and I think you are a really nice girl and that we could end up being good friends. We should go out and Cosmos together sometime. If you ever feel like it, sell me. You can get the number from Adam. Peace and love, Haley. Kim initially responded positively, at the time saying, Thanks for the message. I'm glad you want to be friends. I'm really tired of all the and drama. I'm a grown woman, and I've been feeling like a little kid again. I know I shouldn't have called you a stupid. It was mean, but I just did it because Paris told me to. I was desperate for attention, but I finally ditched her, and I'm becoming my own person. Anyway, would you want to go see Amspin at Let's Do It next week? Hope you write me back soon. Haley ends up saying yes to Kim, saying, I know the drama has really gotten out of hand. I'm a grown woman, and I can't stand it. I just want it to be gone. This isn't high school, and I forgive you for calling me that anyway. I'd love to see Amspin. What time? But then Kim sends one more reply stating, I forgot. I don't hang out with horses. Plus, I'm busy. Kim was 27, and Haley was 22. Haley posted screenshots of the exchange, exposing Kim's immaturity, and a woman she found in Scott Disick's hotel room. She screamed at the woman, who fans speculate was Larsa Pippen, calling her a disgusting and a ghetto girl, while ordering her security to remove her from the room. She then yelled at Scott for making her feel bad about Kourtney. Even though Scott and Kourtney had been broken up for 2 years, and Kourtney was in a new relationship, the most ironic part was Kim calling Kanye afterwards to brag about her behavior, how she was acting ghetto, even though she called the woman she found a ghetto girl and a disgusting. This was all while claiming she didn't want to be involved. Then, 2 years later in 2019, Kim's sister, Kylie Jenner's best friend, Jordan Woods, was caught kissing Khloe's then boyfriend, Tristan Thompson. This became a major storyline, but fans were confused. Tristan had cheated on Khloe multiple times, even fathering children with other women while Khloe was pregnant. Yet, the family's rage was directed almost entirely at 22-year-old Jordan. On her show, Kim told her sisters they needed to scare the living shit out of her. This led to a vicious online harassment campaign against Jordan. Kim continued to post shady messages about Jordan on her Instagram, fueling the fire. The public hate train against a young woman, orchestrated by a 40-year-old Kim Kardashian, only stopped when her younger sister, Kylie, caught her crying and begged her to stop, because Jordan was receiving death threats. Despite it all, Khloe eventually got back together with Tristan and had another child with him, only for him to cheat on her again. Meanwhile, Kim continued to publicly support Tristan, attending his basketball games, showing that her outrage was selective and performative, even though Tristan was still cheating on her sister and getting the other women pregnant again. In 2013, Kanye West and the rapper Rhymesfest co-funded Donda's House, which was a non-profit artist organization for the youth on Chicago's dangerous South Side. The goal was to offer programs in music and fashion to provide an alternative to the gang violence that plagued the area. 5 years later, in 2018, Rhymefest put out a tweet to announce that Kanye had abandoned the organization financially, and it was on the brink of collapse. He then tweeted at Drake, asking if he would be willing to step in and help. This did not sit well with Kim at all. Once again, she inserted herself into a situation that had nothing to do with her and launched a brutal attack on Rhymefest through a series of tweets. She wrote, "You haven't been right since you got kicked out of the studio in Hawaii wearing fake Yeezys, and you're over leveraging Kanye's name and asked Kanye to donate money to you, so stop with your fake community politics and lies." After personally insulting Rhymefest, she made a direct threat. "You better believe I will make it my mission to take Donda's house from you and let my children run it the way it should be run." At the time, her children were aged 4, 2, and 4 months. This was widely interpreted as Kim threatening to destroy a non-profit for underprivileged youth out of pure spite. People from Chicago, including former program participants, begged her not to ruin Donda's house. Several hours later, the organization released a statement. Due to Kim's threat to take control of the organization and let her kids run it, they would be ceasing operations under the Donda's house name. While the statement was carefully worded, the organization never reopened. Many locals blame Kim's Twitter tirade for being the final blow to the program. A day later, Kim tried to walk back her comments, claiming Kanye had been having financial troubles. This, however, didn't explain the vitriol of her attack, especially since Rhymefest was simply seeking help to keep a community project alive. Later, Kim would bizarrely claim she never wrote those tweets at all, alleging that Kanye had taken her phone and posted them from her account. The problem with Kim Kardashian is a fundamental pattern of extraction. She's presented with an app idea, she allegedly steals the concept and trademarks it, then sues the original creator into a financial ruin. She spends millions on tutors for 3 years to pass a first-year law exam, then brands herself a legal crusader for convicts with overwhelming evidence against them. It is hard to find an area of her life not marked by a transactional and often destructive impulse. It is painful to watch someone so insatiable. You would think there would be a point, a moment of reflection where she might slow down and find fulfillment outside of acquisition. But instead, she takes and takes until there's nothing left, then moves on to the next person or project to consume and still.
Sheesh. Good video by bro, man. He really broke down Kim. I can't lie. If y'all like his video, his channel is Insight Clicks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can watch it for yourself, as I said in the very beginning of the video. And yeah, bro's really doing this thing, man. Shout out to bro. Roski, close us out.
Yeah, a great video, man. You picked the perfect thumbnail, too. Kim Kardashian is a fucking demon, bro. You made her sound like a witch at the end, like she just want to consume everybody's resources. And then she done with you. She done sucked the life out you. She going to the next one to suck him dry.
Anyways, man, y'all already know y'all made it to the end of another video, man. Love y'all, great for y'all, man. Binge rest of the videos on the channel. We gonna catch y'all in the next video.